650 here. Today we're going to be looking at some PEQ boxes here for my Masada. Basically, I'm on a project, using one as a project gun, and I need to pick out a good PEQ box for it. Here we have the PEQ 2, kind of original. It's lost its cover. Can fit nunchucks and good variety of lipos, but it is kind of large. We got the PEQ 15 here. Probably the best looking out of all of them. Downside is that it really limits me to a lot of these custom sized batteries like this Echo 1 7.4 2000 milliamp 20C LiPo. Here's Tokyo Marui's PEQ 15, gave it a little bit of a paint job. They call it the PEQ 16. PEQ 16 is actually a different gun. Downside to this one though, this is about the biggest battery I can fit in here. It's a 7.4 1600 milliamp battery. They claim you can put these normal nickel metal hydrate batteries. They don't fit. And here we have the cheap Echo 1. Or I believe it's just a remanufacturer of CYMA. Good thing about this, I can fit my 9.6 nickel metal hydrate battery. Top comes off really nice and easy. And I'm capable of putting a 7.4 3900 milliamp battery. I also have another one. Let me just, one more PEQ box I have, but it will not make its list on here just because I can't fit really any batteries in there. But it has a really nice easy access. What I'm going to choose is this one. Why? This gun's meant for ops, so this one's out of it. This one's definitely out of it. This one, kind of. That's out of it. So I'm going with this one. Why? Because I can fit the biggest battery in here. If this battery were to die, I can easily take this off, throw in my backup battery, and I am good to go. Downside to this pack, well, it is not pretty. Not at all. It's not look cool. So in today's video, we are going to dress this up, make it look a little prettier. In addition, you can see here, I've broken the tabs off. They're a little weak. So we're going to have to find some sort of fix in here. And what I have found for the fix on this one, no, it lets me use this large battery. It will even let me use larger batteries with this fix. So let's get started. Alright, so one of the first things that makes this PEQ not as attractive as the rest is that it doesn't have these fancy lens looking decoration. So what we're going to do is that I've butchered off this from the PEQ 15 and butchered this off from the PEQ 2 over here. And we are going to basically take off the rubber here, and we are going to glue them on to this, thus giving it that little bit of that lens look. For the small one, I'm going to take off from the PEQ 15 its little lens cover and rip off its little cover. By the way, I looked it up. Closest thing in the real world that this is based off of is called a PEQ 7, which had a big red button here. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to actually give it a darker brown look to it to kind of mimic this kind of look here. So before attaching, we're going to use a hot glue gun to attach these on here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a file and we're just going to file this down a little bit here, then on the back sides here. The reason being is that will give the glue a better surface to adhere to. So I have now, you can see I have used a file just to rough it up a little bit to give the glue a better piece of surface. Additionally, I washed and cleaned it and I'm going to wipe it down with a little bit of rubbing alcohol over there, just getting last minute grease or grime off of it. Alright, there you go. It's already looking much better. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean this off once again, and we're going to prep it up a little bit. We're going to give it a bit of a paint job using just some spray paint. I highly recommend the camouflage paints because it will give it a nice flat look to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint this kind of a dark brown. Then I'm going to paint the rest of it an OD green. I kind of have an OD kind of foliage green. Blends really well with the Masada. Just make sure that you cover up these little clear plastic parts here of the lens caps here, just so you maintain that look. But I think it's already looking much more like a real PEQ box. Alright, now we're going to start painting this. We're giving it its primary color. Very important to first wipe it down with rubbing alcohol. It's going to remove any old dirt, and just in major layman's term, just helps to paint it here more. So I'm going to give my spray can a good shake here. Alright, once I got that paint can sprayed up, here's what I'm using. And this color right over there, this color is really close to the foliage green that's used on the Masada. When applying this, you want to stand nice far back. Quick, even really quick cuts. Or not to get too close and spray too long. Otherwise, you get a bit of a dripping effect. It does seem a little wasteful to spray paint like this, but it does produce the best results. And that's actually what is more important. Nice, good results. Alright, I'll finish this up and I'll do probably 1 or 2 coats of this, and then we will go on to the next step. Alright, so we had a little bit of a mishap here because the one hates me because I'm a pilot. It decided to toss my PEQ box into the dirt. So you see I have all this dirt. So how are you going to fix that? Pretty simple. Just wait and let that paint dry. You can still see it's a little wet there. Then you want to take some low grit sandpaper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wet this sandpaper. So it's wet sanding. And I am just going to polish all that off. Now it's going to take away a lot of the paint. And then you are just going to have to restart painting it. Good thing is I already got a good base coat in there, so it shouldn't take too much or too long. Alright, there you have it. All nice and painted up. Looks much better. This lens decoration right there really has a lot, but I think it just needs a little something more. So one of the PEQ 15s that I got came with these stickers, so I thought I'd apply some of these stickers onto the PEQ just to give it that little extra bit of detail. Well, there you go. Looks much better now. Funny with just a few little stickers. Now there is one note here. This sticker is a little bit too large, so I had to cut this part right here. Also I had to trim a little bit off the sides here just so it'll land flush. You have it kind of lip up here a little bit. Some dirt and stuff can get in there and it'll start to peel back. But I think this looks much better. Alright, so one little note. Hot glue gun here kind of gave out a little bit, so you may want to try to use a little stronger glue. For the lid, to make sure it's more secure, I attached a piece of shock cord. Have the tie knot on this end, so it's not visible. And that will let me use a slightly larger batteries, just by a few millimeters. And I think I'm going to try to get a 7.4 5000 milliamp LiPo battery to go in here. So I'll give an update on that in a later video, but here's how to dress up that PEQ box and make it look a little better.